The Bible says that God is a God of both men and women. And here in the book of Judges, we see Deborah, a prophetess and also a judge, leading the nation of Israel to victory over their enemies, the Canaanites. Now, the story begins with the people of Israel crying out to God for help, because they were being oppressed by the Canaanites. And God raised up for them a deliverer named Deborah, who was also the wife of a man named Lapidoth. Now, Deborah was a prophetess, which means that she spoke for God to the people. And so she prophesied that one day soon the Canaanite king would come out to try to defeat the Israelites, but that God would give him into her hands. And so the Bible says that Deborah, the judge, called for the young men of Israel to come to a mountain called Mount Carmel, where she would meet them. And 12,000 men came to meet with her there. But when they got there, she sent most of them home. She said to them, "You go back and return to your right hand, each of you to his city." So 10,000 of them went home, but 2,000 stayed with Deborah. And it was these 2,000 men that went out to battle alongside Deborah against the Canaanites. Now, during this time, there was a severe drought, and the Israelites were few in number, and were scattered throughout the land of Canaan. But Deborah knew that God was with her, and so she led them to victory over their enemies. And the Bible says that Sisera, who was the general of the Canaanite army, was killed in battle. In fact, he was killed by a woman. The Bible says that after Sisera realized that he was going to lose the battle, he got off his horse and tried to hide in the tent of a woman named Jael, thinking that she would protect him. But Jael invited him in, gave him milk to drink, and then, while he was sleeping, she took a tent peg and a hammer, and she killed him. So, Deborah led Israel to victory over their enemies, the Canaanites. And so the whole nation of Israel celebrated with Deborah, and she was a great judge and leader of the people for many years. So what can we learn from Deborah? Well, first of all, we learned that God can use anyone he wants to accomplish his purposes. He didn't just raise up a man to deliver Israel. He raised up a woman, and Deborah was not just a passive leader. She was a strong and courageous woman who led Israel to victory. Secondly, we also learn that God is a God of both men and women, and he desires for both men and women to lead and to be leaders in the church and in society. So Deborah is an example for all of us, both men and women, to follow. She was a woman who was used mightily by God, and she was a great leader and a great judge over the nation of Israel.